Also, his talent was a little bit too useful. The ultimate lawyer. Successfully gone through 200 cases. It's not the kind of person a successful killer leaves around. Kai's scream rang loud and clear in my ears. I could hear everything, all the fear and anxiety from the past 5 days joined in a chorus of terror. Before I knew it, I was yelling too. No! I can't look at it! My arms, my legs, there was no weight in them anymore. Only pins and needles pricking every inch of my skin. What do I do? What am I supposed to do?
A body has been discovered.
We don't have any rules for this yet. But I am going to assume, based on what we know, that the 3 people needed to discover a body rule is not in play.
All students must proceed to the boiler room on the underground floor immediately. Time will be allotted for all participants to investigate the murder. And afterwards, the real class trial will begin. Good luck, everybody!
The real class trial.
Oh, shit!
This can't be for real. There's no way. There's no way! With a wail, Kai booked it out of the room. I knew it was inevitable. I knew I'd chosen this path when we started denying the reality of the killing game. But seeing Wolfgang displayed the way he was, his face contorted into a look of terror, it made everyone's naivety all the more worse. And what did this mean for his blackmail? Like father, like son, beneath a sheep's skin hides a wolfish mind. I'll never know what that blackmail meant. Maybe if I just bit the bullet and confronted Wolfgang about it. Damon! Are you okay? I heard the announcement and... Is that Wolfgang? Kai was right! The tall amount of attendees burst through the door, tailed by a stumbling Kai. I really didn't want to believe it.
Yeah!
Why the heck would I lie? Are we 100% sure he's dead? I don't see any wounds. Maybe he's still breathing?
Good morning.
Oh no, he's very much dead.
Son of a bitch!
You? This? This has gotta be an accident, right?
Why the long face?
Why don't you ask? Well, if the death wasn't intentional, it could be treated like manslaughter or something? And not need a trial?
Rubbish.
Intentional or not, the killer's hands are still dirty with blood, no? As far as I'm concerned, murder is murder, be it third-degree murder, manslaughter, or anything in between.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, if Wolfgang's death was indeed an accident, and the killer bore no ill intent, don't you find it rather strange they haven't come forward and confessed?
Damn it! Damn it!
Then tell us! Tell us who did this!
Who? Me?
Me? Tell you, the killer? Where's the fun in a mystery you already know the answer to? I'll keep my lips sealed, thank you very much.
Hold on.
So, there's definitely a killer?
Moving on.
Ah, downstairs already? Aren't you a quick-footed bunch?
This is nonsense.
A cacophony of wails filled my ears, hailing the arrival of the remaining students. It was almost instantaneous how quickly the colour drained from everyone's faces. They'd entered the room completely bright red, having clearly made a desperate sprint to the boiler room. But now they looked as lifeless as the man laying in front of them. What happened here? Damon and me, we just found him like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sight to behold, I'm sure. Your beloved classmate, who was once so lively, now splayed dead in front of you.
Well done.
To think, I didn't even have to lift a finger after the blackmail. What are the odds? How could you?
Who? Me?
How could I? You tickle me, Eloise. You must remember, this is a killing game between students. Unless the rules state otherwise, a student can only be murdered by another student.
My blood is rushing.
The undeniable truth is that one of you killed Wolfgang. One of you killed Wolfgang. That's right, a person we've been living with, who I've spoken to before. That person is in this room right now, staring at their own crime scene. So, are we going to completely disregard the fact you showed each of us another person's blackmail? I was simply pushing you all in the right direction. Do not take it personally. But Wolfgang, he was so nice to everyone. Why would someone do this? Well, if it is any consolation, I have a gift prepared. A gift?
Plot twist.
Behold the Tozu tablet. The second Tozu tablet, to be more precise. You're even naming the tablet after yourself. It's always been called this, you just didn't know until now.
Moving on.
Anyway, I trust you all remember how this tablet operates, yes? If not, allow me to briefly run you through it again. This tablet contains a summary of the crime scene. Certain special details, like the victim's time of death, have been also thoughtfully provided for you.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, take a look. Oh boy. The victim is Wolfgang Akiri, the ultimate lawyer. He was discovered in the boiler room on the underground floor. He is kneeling in the water and his upper body slumped over the concrete platform. Estimated time of death is approximately 9:35 AM.
No.
This is different from the first tablet we got. No, I'm quite confident you're holding the same brand of tablet. Look, the shape and size are identical. I mean, why is there information missing from this tablet? The cause of death. When we investigated the dummy's murder, the tablet explicitly said she died from blood loss. But this tablet, it doesn't list Wolfgang's cause of death anywhere.
Rubbish.
Of course, saying otherwise would make things too easy.
No.
Come again?
Mm-hmm.
You see, the tablet's information has been divulged in such a way that both the killer and the spotless have equal chance of success. Huh? What does that mean? That means the cause of death is somehow relevant, and we have to work it out, because it would be bad for the Blackened if we knew it.
Moving on.
Nope, that's all you're getting from me. Tally-ho!
No!
Hey, wait! Damn it, he's already out of here. How nimble was this guy?
Why?
Make what too easy? Solving Wolfgang's death?
This looks bad.
No way. Is he saying the cause of death is part of the mystery? Fuck this. Who cares?
You're crazy!
I'm not investigating shit. Keep me out of this.
Don't look at me.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to keep looking at him.
No, just... no.
You have to be insane to think I'm touching a dead body. One by one, multiple students made their way to the door. It was then that she finally spoke.
No.
Stop. Though she didn't yell, there was an overwhelming intensity to her voice. The same kind that caught everyone's attention back in the trial room. Immediately the runaways froze.
Yeah!
What do you want? You all remember the rules, don't you? If we don't solve Wolfgang's murder and uncover the killer...
Can't you see?
Then we are going to die. Our feelings don't matter in this killing game. They never did. All that matters right now is finding the truth.
Don't test me.
Rich coming from you.
Bad news.
Maybe it is, but that doesn't mean she is wrong. If we accuse an innocent person, everyone except the killer will be executed. That's what Tozu said, and that's what was reiterated by our watchers.
It is how it is.
Whether we like it or not, those are the rules. If it's the difference between life or death, there's nothing much else we can do. But I don't want to. I don't want to look at him. Investigating a crime scene doesn't mean investigating just the body. It's standard procedure in homicide investigations to try and pinpoint the victim's movements before their death.
Thinking.
That means searching places they've gone to, people they've spoken to. In Wolfgang's case, his dorm room might be an area of interest.
Yeah,
Since the dorms don't have locks, there's nothing stopping anyone from entering.
Oh boy.
When you put it like that... hey... Broski, want to explore the dorm? Yeah, sure. If you guys are going, then I'll come with. Yes, same for me. The way Eva spoke with such precision and such calmness. It's the same way she spoke when we discovered the dummy.
Hold your horses.
Hold on, Ulysses won't be going anywhere. What?
Aye.
That notebook you're carrying. Whatever evidence we find down here, I want you recording it. What about us? We might discover something huge upstairs. The area with the body deserves the most attention. Once we've exhausted our options here, then we'll head up there.
Moving on.
Obviously, I'll remain here. You should too, Damon. Right. My mind was still reeling from the shock of discovering the body, and the lump in my throat still wouldn't go away. But Wolfgang really was dead, and I had to find out why.
I don't understand.
It's just so hard to believe. Could one of our friends really be a murderer? Friends. She said it like that blind optimism isn't what the killer most likely exploited. After all, how can you suspect anyone if you trust everyone? It's an environment perfect for deceit. An environment perfect for murder. And worst of all, an environment we've created. Let me do what I did last time and look back over the tablet first. Victim is Wolfgang Akire, the ultimate lawyer. He was discovered in the boiler room on the underground floor. He's kneeling in the water and his upper body is slumped over the concrete platform. Estimated time of death is approximately 9:35 AM. Still pissed me off seeing everything except the cause of death listed. Especially when I knew the reason why. The cause of death. When we investigated the dummy's murder, the tablet explicitly said she died from blood loss. But this tablet, it doesn't list Wolfgang's cause of death anywhere. Of course, saying otherwise would make things too easy. The tablet's information has been divulged in such a way that both the killer and the spotless have equal chance of success. Tozy is definitely compensating for the killer, probably because they failed to hide their own tracks. And withdrawing information might be his way of balancing the odds.
I won't lose.
Shit rules. Who's to say he won't be abused? Regardless, Wolfgang's cause of death should be treated as the crux of this mystery. If I can figure out how he died, then everything else should fall into place. Alas, poor Wolfgang. The guiding light of the ultimate student snuffed out in an instant. No use crying over it, though. There's a mystery to be solved. Like any true investigation, important evidence won't always be visible on first glance. Should you ever find yourself stuck, press F3 to view the game's controls. By the way, any truth bullets you obtain will be logged by your Tozu trinket, which can be accessed anytime by pressing F1. You know, in case you needed the reminder. That's all from me, bye-bye. Thanks, green text. Alright, it is investigation time. Half of the generator's internals had melted away, and what still remained was almost completely singed. Yeah, this was definitely the cause of the power outage. What could have melted the wires, though? Like a bomb had gone off in there.
That's...
Now that I think about it, during the game tournament... Taking a deep breath, I steadied my grip on the controller, and pushed both joysticks as hard as I could. Kaboom! Huh? All of a sudden the world around me turned pitch black. A bomb? There had been a loud boom right before the blackout happened. Similar to a firework going off, or someone firing a gun.
That's...
Did I overhear the sound of the generator being destroyed? Nothing else near the dining hall could have made that kind of noise, I don't think. If my assumption is correct, the generator would have been destroyed around the same time the murder was committed. That's suspicious as hell. There's no way the two events aren't connected. But I'm also not working purely off my memory of the boom. To be absolutely sure, I need to know when exactly the blackout occurred. Was there any way for me to find that out? Still the generator. Trying to look at the boxes. Not sure I can. No. There's a cord. Hello? Eh? There's a cord in the water. Judging by the length, I think it's an extension cord. But what the hell happened to the other end of it? There's no internal plug, just a frayed tip lined with a black substance. Had the cord been burnt? I didn't see this cord in the boiler room earlier, so it probably came from someplace else. One of the storage rooms, maybe. It wasn't always in this condition, that's for sure. All the items we've been provided so far, light bulbs, speakers, a fridge, they've worked perfectly well. So, what happened to this cord? And why was it even in the water? Huh.
Hello?
Winona, you're still here.
Seriously?
Is there a problem with that? I seem to frame everything I say in the worst light. I'm preparing to hold a one-on-one session with Ulysses. I was consulting him about something important before we were interrupted by the announcement. Is that what you were doing before the blackout?
Huh?
Repeat that.
It's simple.
The blackout. Were you still with Ulysses when it happened?
Come on.
You're not speaking any sense. There was no power outage. She can't be serious. A blackout affected the entire building, unless...
Anyways.
Let me rephrase. Where were you when the murder happened?
Sheesh.
Where were you? At Cassidy's game tournament in the dining hall.
Oh, really?
Really? Not what I expected.
Let me see.
Ulysses and I spent this morning by the large tree. We stayed there up and including the time of Wolfgang's murder. Sounded like she had an alibi then. As for the location she mentioned, I assumed this entire building complex connected to the one generator. That made more sense for that tree area to have its own separate system, hence why it didn't lose power. About the courtyard though, was anyone there at the time of the blackout?
Terrible.
The generator over there is partially submerged in the water. I think we would be wise to stay on this platform. Was he worried about the water being electrified? Even I managed to stand in it way back when. I don't see why now would be any different. Then again, the generator wasn't damaged last time.
Damn.
Yeah, since Wolfgang is kneeling in the water, we should avoid touching him.
No.
You don't know for sure if the water's unsafe.
Huh?
Listen to me.
Before you start making conclusions, you should experiment first. Got any more light bulbs? Yes, she does. Oh, I see what you're doing. Sure enough, Eva went straight to the edge of the platform and threw the light bulb into the water.
Look.
See, it's not lighting up. That means the water is safe.
Well,
I see. Then I suppose it's safe to inspect Wolfgang.
Okay.
Are you going to? I think I will observe from afar instead. Now isn't the time to be listening to your nerves.
Aye.
Oi, take a whiff of the air. Ain't there something off about it? I followed his instructions and sniffed the air.
That's...
It smells like burnt rubber.
That ain't it.
'Cause of the busted generator, yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. There's another scent, a real bitter one. You might actually be onto something. It's almost like cereal and rubbing alcohol.
Bad news.
Indeed. I'm suspecting a mighty chemical reaction at work.
Eh?
I've had my fair share of travels across the sea, and I'm no stranger to foul play. There's no stench worse than one of a disastrous combustion.
It is how it is.
Thing is, I got no idea where it's coming from. Really? The smell is supposedly that of a chemical reaction. Where else could it be coming from besides the busted generator? Unless Gene's conclusion about the smell is wrong? I wouldn't put it past him. A taser gun. Pretty random thing to be lying around a crime scene. It definitely wasn't in the boiler room prior to the murder either. Did that mean this taser gun was involved in the murder? On closer inspection, nothing about the gun looked particularly strange. Had it even been used? I'm pretty sure taser guns dispense some kind of wire when fired. Nearby were some yellow pieces of plastic on the floor. They were the same shade of yellow as the taser gun. Had these originally been attached to it? I can't tell where they would fit on the gun, though. Never mind. What's the point in making guesses when I can just get him to confirm? After all, someone who's a pro at wielding guns should know them better than anyone else. Aren't you going to investigate Wolfgang? Me?
Yeah.
Who else? Back when we mistook that dummy for a body, you poked it pretty nonchalantly.
Hang on.
That's different. I never thought it was real.
I see.
Now that we were finally advancing in the investigation, her cool composure had all but vanished. Typical, I guess. She can only keep up an act for so long. There was blood speckled across the floor. I didn't notice it at first, due to the room's restricted lighting. But now, after my eyes had time to adjust, it couldn't be more obvious.
I see.
Looks like it passes into the hallway, too. I completely missed these during the blackout. Speaking of, after the body discovery announcement, everyone barged into the boiler room through this door. Yet, these blood spots don't look smudged. I'm guessing they're already dry by the time any of us got here. In which case, could this be Wolfgang's blood? Already dry, though. I'll inspect the rest of the scene first. Fine, what else is there to look at? What's going on back here? The remnants of something. Chunks of something red were floating near the generator. It almost looked like metal or maybe plastic. Were these originally part of the generator? The colours and material don't seem to match, though. Bits of something that blew up, it looks like. Okay. A knife. Why was a knife floating in the water? On the blade and in the surrounding water, I could make something out. The unmistakable colour of blood. There's no doubt about it. This knife must have something to do with the murder. Why a knife was here and not actually on the platform, I had no idea. Still more? What else is there even to see? I don't know. Taser, generator. As far as I can tell, I can't examine the boxes. Camera. Cord. talk to you again.
Hi.
Why did you move over here?
The struggle.
I feel it is highly important we investigate anything and everything we can. That is why I moved over here, to investigate. More like he didn't want to be near Wolfgang's body. And what was the first for the investigation? Something other than fear appeared on Ulysses' face. It was curiosity.
Eh?
What is it? Look at the floor in front of the door.
That...
This? I noticed that, but I thought it was just a crack. Because I couldn't click on it. Yes.
Seriously?
This is just a small piece of scrap metal.
Do you think?
Even so, it's still a part of the crime scene. It necessitates documentation.
That's not important.
Seriously, something this small means nothing. It could have come from the generator or the pipes above us. Ingrid could have been carrying it for all we know. This guy. There's so much here that he could actually document, and instead he's focused on some flimsy piece of metal? All the more reason to rely on myself. Don't overlook anything. What is this? Alright. Feels like I've given the boiler room a good rundown, which means... Just yesterday Wolfgang was talking with us, eating breakfast with us, and now he's dead. Who had the resolve to commit such a needlessly brutal murder? To go so far as to mangle his body? I couldn't unpack it. I didn't know how to. This wasn't just some dummy I had to investigate. This was a real person. It was so far out of my experience. Let alone my comfort zone.
Hello.
Do you want to inspect him? Holy crap, did she really have to scare me like that? Yeah, I do want to inspect him. It's just the idea of getting close to him.
Where?
I'll investigate with you. It'll be easier for both of us that way. Right?
Right.
Wolfgang laid completely still, his face frozen in a look of horror. His once bright eyes were shrouded in darkness, and his mouth was open, as if he'd been killed mid-scream. Didn't hear anything, though. Eva's expression said it all. Wolfgang did everything in his power to make us outcasts and make the worst of us. At times I even hated him for it. But this brought no relief to either of us. Wolfgang, what happened in his final moments that left him so terrified? Was it the realization he was about to die? Mulling over the what-ifs won't bring me any closer to solving Wolfgang's murder. Right now, my focus should be to find evidence. And that begins by investigating his body. With the way Wolfgang was slumped over the platform, it almost looked like he'd fallen on top of it.
Focus.
Let me see if his palms are scratched. As I knelt down to take a closer look.
Huh?
Eh? Trickling out the cuff of Wolfgang's sleeve and onto the rest of his hand. A strange injury that looked a lot like a tree sapling. Was this a burn mark? That looks like an electrical burn to me. Not that I am overly experienced with them. When I looked at Wolfgang's other hand, I saw the same thing. Markings that seemed to extend down the arm.
The hell?
Eva, look at this.
Hello.
Let me see. Yeah, burn marks. That's really horrible. They look like gross little veins. What inflicted them?
That...
There's a taser a little ways off from where we're standing, but I couldn't find anything to indicate it's been fired. So the only other thing I can think of is the generator.
Is that really true?
Why the generator?
I know.
The thing has clearly been destroyed by something. Maybe Wolfgang got caught up in that something, and that's how he died.
Not sure.
I'm not sure. The generator seems too far away from where Wolfgang is lying to cause burns like these.
Look at this.
Plus, the room's water isn't conductive, so electricity couldn't have travelled through it.
Right.
You're right. Anything able to mount the generator's wires would have burnt his suit to a crisp, too. Exactly.
Thinking.
I think Wolfgang received those burns outside the boiler room. There's just nothing here that could leave these markings. As for the actual place he got burnt, guess we'll have to try and find it ourselves. That is, if such a place even exists. Well, it's possible the generator may not have been involved in the murder. Seemed unlikely that Wolfgang made a detour for the boiler room after being severely burnt. After all, burns like his would definitely paralyze someone. As for Wolfgang's palms, I didn't have any markings on them. Still, he must have fallen somehow. Why else would he be lying on the platform? There didn't seem to be any strange markings on Wolfgang's face. However, along the back of his neck was a massive bruise. That looks like a really bad injury. Almost his entire neck is discoloured.
Damn.
Right. How did he get this on the back of his neck? Nothing around us seems to have left it. This might sound morbid, but what if it's a sign of his body decomposing?
That's...
Can a body really decompose this fast? It could, or it could not. It probably depends on the environment. As in the temperature?
Correct.
Cold places are generally better at preserving things than warm, humid areas like this boiler room.
Thinking.
Kind of like dairy products. There's a good comparison. A tone-deaf one, but sure. Wolfgang didn't have this bruise yesterday, at the very least. If he did, it would have been super noticeable.
fair.
Yeah, true. Turning my attention back to Wolfgang, I caught something else on his body. Near the mark on his neck, but not directly overlapping it. A red dot. Is that a beauty mark? Doesn't look like it. The skin around the dot seems to be inflamed. It reminds me of a popped pimple. The sort of wound you would easily inflict on yourself.
So...
Then you don't think this is related to the murder? It might not be, but...
There must be something.
Judging by the lack of scabbing, this was inflicted pretty recently, so we may as well keep it in mind. Ugh! So many possible causes of death. Blunt force trauma, electrification, lethal injection? Wolfgang's suit was completely crumpled, a far cry from his once clean appearance. Water had seeped into the pants, completely ruining the fabric. As I leaned in close, I spotted a folded piece of paper sticking out from his back pocket. Though it was soaked, it wasn't completely destroyed.
Damn.
I really don't want to touch him, but... With my thumb and index finger, I snatched the paper out of his pocket, taking care not to brush my hand against his body. I gingerly folded open the paper, aware that some of the wetter spots could fall apart immediately, and found a message written inside. That's some very ugly handwriting. Do you recognize it?
No.
A lot of the text is unreadable. Whoever wrote this probably used a low-quality pen. Though, at the bottom of the page, fragments of a message were still visible. Secret, 8:15 AM, boiler room, close the door. Doesn't this read a lot like a command? It seems like someone wanted to arrange a private meeting with him here.
I see.
Could that someone be the culprit?
Not sure.
8:15 AM. That's a long time before the time of death, though. Maybe there was a struggle, or maybe Wolfgang arrived late.
There must be something.
Either way, this message is definitely a valuable clue. Is there any insight into Wolfgang's movements before his death?
Well,
Well, now I really want to know where everyone was at that time. I woke up at 8:30 AM this morning, so I was asleep when this meeting was scheduled to happen. It was only 35 minutes before the tournament. Cassidy, Jet, Mark and I would have already been in the dining hall.
Right.
Right, setting up equipment.
That's...
As for the other students, directly asking them where they were at 8:15 might be risky,
where?
because they would wonder where we got the time from. Exactly. I'd prefer to keep this note between the two of us. At least, for now. Oh yeah, that is water damaged beyond all recognition.
Anyways.
Anyway, this thing about a secret, what do you think that means?
Gah.
Well, I'm not really sure. It could be referring to anything. The blackmail is the most likely candidate, but, anything, huh? You know what it means?
I know.
I have an idea. The author of this letter might be talking about Wolfgang's blackmail. Though we know they can't have had it because we had it.
Huh.
If they claimed to have it, they could have baited him here without much issue. After all, Wolfgang asked us to meet with the person whose blackmail we had.
Strange.
A derelict boiler room was a pretty ominous place to meet someone there. It would have been Wolfgang's first time here too, assuming he didn't explore this floor beforehand.
What could it be?
Either he didn't see the super obvious danger in meeting here alone, or he did realise and just didn't care.
Right.
Right. Does that change anything about what I said? Well, duh. If Wolfgang knew the warning signs, his reason for coming might have less to do with integrity,
You see?
and more to do with desperation.
Huh?
Desperation? To know the details of his blackmail.
I see.
It would stand to reason. Ugh, if only Wolfgang had hidden this note somewhere safe instead of bringing it here. It would have been valuable evidence. I doubt he could have envisioned something like this happening. He was never really on his guard during this killing game, except around you and me, I guess. Still more, huh? Now that I think about it, the place where Wolfgang laid was odd. All the chances he would end up here, between the only opening of the fence. The one spot where he could kneel over like this. Was it possible he had been trying to climb onto the platform before he died? Strange way he didn't use the stairs, though. Even stranger that it was even in the water. It seemed to be everything I could gather.
Hello.
Hey, Damon? Since we've inspected the boiler room, we should phone the students who left and ask them for their testimonies.
Right.
They went upstairs to investigate Wolfgang's dorm, right? Yes, because of what I said earlier. The victim's last known whereabouts are the best places to search for clues.
Okay.
Alright. Let's see what they've been up to. Apart from collecting testimonies, there were two other matters on my mind. One, getting Desmond to inspect the taser gun. And two, pinpointing exactly when the blackout occurred, in case it happened at the time of the murder. I walked over to the boiler room door, which had been left slightly ajar. But as I began to pull it the rest of the way open, I noticed it. The doorknob, something about it, looked different. Hey, Eva? The doorknob, I think it's been flipped. Flipped? Are you sure? Take a look for yourself. The first time we woke up here, I'm pretty sure this lock was on the inside, not the outside.
Is that really true?
How would someone be able to flip a doorknob, though?
That's...
By unscrewing it, possibly. Okay. Why didn't you say something earlier?
Huh?
What do you mean? This is the first time I've noticed it.
Is that really true?
Really? You didn't notice it back when you entered the boiler room with Kai? No, not even then. It might have been because of the darkness, or my own nerves. But back then I wasn't paying attention to small details like the doorknob. All I wanted to do was enter the boiler room.
Anyways.
I know that makes me sound stupid.
Listen to me.
It's okay. I mean, I probably wouldn't have noticed the doorknob had I been... Oh, I mean, I probably would have noticed the doorknob had I been there, but that's besides the point. Thanks. Anyway, this discovery paints an interesting picture. Since the lock was now accessible from the hallway, it could have locked somebody in here. You could technically lock the boiler room shut without ever stepping foot in it. Meaning that if you wanted to lock someone inside the boiler room, all you have to do is lure them in and close the door behind them.
Moving on.
Come on, we need to collect people's testimonies before the investigation ends. Right, let's go. Kinda looks like a bent hairpin. I wonder if this was an impromptu attempt at a lockpick. Not that that would have worked from inside the room, if the lock is now only on the outside. As a million questions rattled away in my mind, I followed Eva out of the boiler room. Actually, Eva, before we go upstairs, it's probably worth checking out the storage closets first. Good idea. I was going to try. Why?
I know.
I found something in the boiler room that might be related to them. Judging by the length, I think it's an extension cord. But what the hell happened to the other end of it? There was no internal plug, just a frayed tip lined with a black substance. Had the internal end been severed off, and the cord burnt after? I didn't see this cord in the boiler room earlier, so it probably came from someplace else. One of the storage rooms, maybe? That extension cord, we should confirm if it did indeed come from a storage closet. Okay.
However...
But first I want to talk to Cassidy.
Come again?
You want to talk to her? Yes, I want to talk to her. Is that bad? She wasn't much help last investigation.
Well,
any help is better than no help.
Fair.
Alright. I'll talk to Cassidy first, then I'll investigate the storage closets on this floor. Cassidy was pacing around the hallway with a finger on her chin, seemingly doing nothing.
Yo!
Oh, hey guys. Sorry for not noticing you sooner. I was performing a super sweep down of this here hallway. That's a lot of words for wandering around aimlessly.
listen to me.
Can you put your sweep down on hold? I have a really important question.
Okay.
Let's hear it. Just don't drag it on too long, Kay. Gotta finish my sweep down before time's up.
You see...
Do you remember who attended the tournament? The game tournament? Huh. Everyone who was slated to join kept their word, so we had a full house.
What about...
There were 8 people in total. Jet, Mark, Grace, Jean, Kai, and the 3 of us.
Huh?
Something on your mind? Well, since the murder happened in the boiler room,
Well,
wouldn't that mean everyone in the dining hall has an alibi?
Ooh.
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. She's totally right. Is she? I'm not totally convinced of that. Also, since we split into pairs when investigating those rooms down the hall, every pairing can vouch for each other. That is a point I'm not sure yet how to refute.
Right.
Right, we all split up. What were the groups again?
Yep.
Jet and I explored storage closet B. Storage closet B.
Check it out.
That's what it's called on the map. Does she mean the map of the Tozy trinket? Activated my trinket, and sure enough. See? Storage closet B. There's also storage closet A, storage closet C, and storage closet D. Those are definitely the rooms we explored.
I see.
In that case, Kai and I must have explored storage closet C. I remember it clearly. The two of us checked the closet above and opposite the one Cassidy searched. According to this map, the only closet to fit those parameters is storage closet C.
correct.
Reese and I investigated the closet directly next to Damon's, so we must have been inside storage closet A,
Yeah.
which leaves Mark and Jean with storage closet D. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, Dama, since you're here,
Question.
what's the deal with you in the boiler room?
Huh?
What? When Kai told his party peeps about Wolfie, he said you two went inside the boiler room.
How?
The heck did you do that for? You were supposed to check out the storage closet.
No.
You're not casting suspicion on me, are you? Me? No way. As far as Cass is concerned, everyone is innocent until proven otherwise. I investigated the storage closet with Kai. We just didn't find anything inside.
Anyway.
Though we did hear someone run down the hallway.
Am I hearing you right?
Huh? For real? Man, unlucky. All that work for nothing. What's the plan now? Do we just, go back outside? Let's check out how the people next door are doing. Huh? Suddenly I heard frantic footsteps echoing from the hallway outside.
Doubt it.
Weird. I don't remember any footsteps.
It's the truth.
I do.
Really?
Me? Eva, did you really? I heard them while Grace and I were investigating the storage room next to yours.
However,
I just brushed it off as my imagination, though. Guess me and Jet must have been talking over them. Were those footsteps the reason you entered the boiler room, Damo? It's Damon, and yeah. They came from the direction of that room, so I wanted to see what the person was running from.
For real?
Phooey, really? I would have just chased after the footsteps. I mean, entering the boiler room after something like that? You weren't scared a murderer was hiding inside? What I actually discovered wasn't much better. True, true. Then, whose footsteps could those have been? I don't know why anyone would want to be running around those spooky hallways, let alone in the dark.
What about...
Unless... Ooh, maybe they were also looking for a backup generator?
That's not important.
I doubt it's that innocent. Considering the place this person ran away from was the crime scene, those footsteps were probably the killers. You mean fresh off committing the murder?
Right.
Fresh off the murder, or a bit after. Depends what time we went downstairs. Either way, whether it was immediately after the murder or not. For a brief moment, the only thing separating us from Wolfgang's killer were the storage room walls. That's creepy to think about. Thus, bit by bit, the mystery slowly unravels.
My genius is almost frightening.
No need to thank me. It was all in a day's work. She didn't even do anything. Caution. A dead body ahead. Hello. I almost didn't see there. There's dried blood on the floor. For some reason, it seemed to pool right around this particular spot. Dried blood, like in the boiler room?
Eh?
You noticed the blood in there?
Correct.
I noticed you noticing it.
I see.
So,
So, who do you think left all this blood behind?
Focus.
Well, it can't be Wolfgang, can it? Considering the sort of injuries he sustained, it wouldn't make sense for him to have spilt a lot of blood.
There must be something.
Which means the only possibility we're left with is...
what could it be?
The blood belongs to someone else? Yeah, exactly. If I didn't notice the blood here, would you have pointed it out to me?
Eh?
I would have pointed it out to you if the roles were reversed. You didn't point it out to me. I spotted it on my own, thank you very much. That way you'd know not to step on it.
Right.
Sure, I'd point it out.
Thanks.
Boo!
Interesting.
Wow, that was easy.
The hell?
What? Why did you do that? To see if you were nervous.
Seriously?
Of course I'm nervous. You were nervous earlier.
No.
Earlier, yeah, but not anymore.
Moving on.
Anyway, you should be so nervous. If you're too nervous, you won't be able to think straight. So, you should calm down. Easier said than done.
Well,
Well, we've already investigated the really ugly stuff, right? You don't need to think about that stuff for now. Just focus on collecting people's testimonies.
listen to me.
I can keep reminding you if you want. I'll be fine. Okay.
Interesting.
The map says this is storage closet B.
Right.
Right, the closet Cassidy and Jet explored.
Look.
Do you see that?
Eh?
See what? The box in the corner over there, look. Confused, I turned to where she was pointing. Eh? This is... I think I know what it is.
Yeah.
A generator, right? The one you were referring to during the blackout?
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. Since I've explored these rooms before, I knew one of them had the backup generator.
That's...
If this closet has the backup generator, wouldn't that mean the ones who restored the power...
Thinking.
Well, if Cassidy and Jet were the only people who entered this room, then they're the people who brought the power back. Damn, I'm surprised those two actually knew how to navigate a generator. This seems to be all there is to this closet. Okay, this is storage closet A. Yeah, let's take a look around. As I began to inspect the shelves, the glint of something shiny caught my eye.
That's...
Eh? Eva, look. There's a rolling pin here, and handprints on it too.
Strange.
What are you implying? That someone used this recently, and not for its intended purpose.
I know.
Look, can you see how the handprints are at the base of the pin? You aren't rolling much dough if you're wielding this thing like a tennis racket, are you? The pin is also really dusty. If it came from the kitchen, it would be clean like the other utensils there. Yeah, agreed. Not only that...
Jeez.
Right, there's a dent on the pin too. Really? On the end, opposite the handprints. Can you see it?
Weird.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Handprints and a dent. It's definitely not a coincidence.
Focus.
Could this pin have something to do with that mark we found on Wolfgang's neck? If it was used to knock him out, it would not only explain the dent on the pin, but the bruise on Wolfgang's neck. How did it make its way into this closet, though?
Huh?
What do you mean? How did the pin make its way into the closet after the killer used it? Oh.
There must be something.
I mean, if the footprints kind I heard were the killers, they probably chucked the pin in here on their way out.
Absolutely not.
No, that's not what happened.
Huh?
If the killer entered this closet and hid the rolling pin,
Listen to me.
Grace and I would have seen them. Right, of course, she and Grace were investigating this closet at the time. What if the killer placed the pin in here before any of us came downstairs?
Save it.
If they are out in the hallway, why didn't they use that as their chance to escape? Oh, she's right about that, too. Could this rolling pin really be unrelated? It lines up so well with the other evidence. Something wacky is going on time-wise here. I don't think the time of the initial attack and the time of death are the same.
Moving on.
Okay, I don't think there's anything else to this room. Let's keep investigating. One moment she's speaking nonsense, the next she's totally coherent. Don't think I'll ever understand this girl. This is the room we were in. This was the closet Kai and I explored. It was hard to get a good look at its contents in the dark, but seeing it now,
I see.
there doesn't seem to be anything important here. I think we can move on. Okay. There can't be something important everywhere, or nothing would be important.
Look.
This is storage closet D.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark and Jean explored this one. Let's see what I can find here. Is there anything weird about this room?
That's...
I think I see something behind this pile of boxes. I stood on my tiptoes to get a better look, and...
Jeez.
Yes, they really are here.
Well,
What's here? Extension cords, a whole bunch of them.
strange.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, these are definitely the same type of cord I saw in the boiler room. Only difference is, these still have their other half intact. Huh. The internal plugs are pretty slim compared to other kinds of cord. The fact these cords matched the one in the boiler means the killer must have rummaged through these closets for equipment. For what reason they needed the cord, I had no idea, but this was still a step in the right direction. Besides that box of cords, nothing else about this room is standing out to me.
So,
Do you want to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. We've looked through all the closets now.
so,
Did you find everything you needed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. The rolling pin and that stack of extension cords. There's no doubting their relevance to this case. At least, based on what I've investigated so far.
Anyway.
Eva, let's go upstairs and collect some more testimonies.
where?
Finally.